We are Mariah and Colby. We drove across country from Florida to San Carlos, Mexico with our two cats, Namiria and Took. We are coming back for another cruising season in the Sea of Cortez on our sailboat Tigerlily. We hope you'll follow along and subscribe.
Well, there she is in the daylight. So today, I'm kind of starting on the finishing touches, which is the hems on the outside and the inside, and how to secure it all down. So I am going to get started by making a mark on the fabric where the bottom of the rubber rail is, and that's where a piece of vinyl will go all the way around as a rubber rail. Here are the shape material. I said I was gonna make 2 inches, but I actually made it 3 inches. Now I'm gonna make a mark to sew it onto the material, so I have to take the chaps off, bring it off the table, and start marking it. So I've got the rub rail all sewed on both sides, all the way around. And now I need to create the line casing for the leech line, or not the leech line, sorry, the tightening line to go around this little spot right here where the rope can come out and tie onto this guy to keep it nice and tight on the bow. But yeah, so now I gotta go around the rubber now I gotta go around the rub rail and mark a line 3/8 an inch below that, and then I will fold the fabric into that, making a crease, and then I'll sew the line in there so we can tighten it. So I've got the tightening line all in there, and I'm going to test it on the dinghy again and see how she looks. Being a beginner sewer.
Yeah, I think it's great.
I'm not unhappy with it. One of the final steps of these dinghy chaps, and that is this hem up in the bow. So I'm gonna fold over twice on it because I need to put in buttons, and buttons work best through at least three layers of material. So here's the dinghy before the chaps, and then once I sew this part and put them on, that's pretty much it besides installing buttons. So I've gotten it kind of hemmed right here. It puckered on me a bit right there. It's not perfect, but I don't know how to make it perfect. I'm not experienced enough. My last step on actually this whole piece itself is putting buttons on where it can snap onto the boat and stay down. So I got my snap-on kit here ready to go, and we will go ahead and get that going. Let's get the dinghy chaps on the boat and fill up the tubes to their full PSI and see how she looks. There is the finished chaps in the daylight.
Looks so good.
You can see here, I have a spot that I can tie onto there. And these snaps, I have some adhesive back snaps that will go into there and they'll snap right down in there. But I gotta wait till I get cleaning stuff. And then I'm not 100% on what I'm gonna do with securing those lines, but figure out something there. And then the last thing is some little hooks or something in here to tie this line to, so you can pull and cinch the whole dinghy. But besides that, the dinghy chaps are done. Is it perfect? No, but it was my so the sail was my first like big sailing job, but it was nice because it had instructions and all the pieces were cut out for me. This is my first big sewing project where I had to measure everything, and you can tell because it looks like shit.
Good morning. It is it is the Wednesday before Thanksgiving, and I am starting to cook because naturally my hosting brain, my hosting self took over, and I was like, we should have some friends over. Well, just one friend. We're gonna cook a little Thanksgiving meal for all three of us. Anyways, I just finished this loaf of bread that has to proof for 24 hours. So it's like 9 o'clock, I think, right now. It's 9:30, so got that going. It will be ready to start in the morning. And next, I think I was gonna do the dessert next, but Colby just had to go to Walmart because I needed a couple more ingredients. Colby came back with all of the things, and now we are gonna start making things. This kitchen is so small. There is, I know you've seen it, but absolutely no counter space. So we have to cook everything on the dining room table, which is very short even for me. Okay, so the first thing I'm gonna make is a gooey butter cake. This is gonna be our dessert. So we got a box of yellow cake mix. Also, if you've never heard of gooey butter cake, I'm pretty sure it's like, it's just a southern thing. Okay, they came out of the oven and I've already wrapped them up. They cooled down, but here they are. And now you are going to the boat with Colby so he can do boat things. And also, look at the bread, it's rising so much. Okay, well, have fun doing boat projects. I'm gonna be cooking for the rest of the day.
Welcome to the boat. I don't know if we've showed you since the fiberglassers are done, but all the filler is in. It still has to be, or all the fairing, I guess. It all has to be sanded and painted. But before I do that, I'm gonna put chain plates back in, and there's a couple spots I gotta build up. So I'm not 100% done yet, but chain plates, I've already done a little bit today. So these are new chain plates. I got them in. I went through and put them all in, put 2 bolts in just so I can know where they lay and mark them. And I've got to put sealant, and I'm going to put 4200 on there so I can get them out again eventually if I need to. But I'm going to put sealant around, take it out, put sealant around it, and put it back in. Well, that was a bit messier than expected. Well, that one was better, but still messy. Just looks good now, but yeah, still a bit messy. I've got all chain plates. Well, not all of them. The aft ones back there aren't in yet, but I've got the starboard side and the port side all in and sealed. Now I'm gonna make little pieces of wood that go down on top of those, and I'll epoxy all those and fiberglass those in as little razors. I think that's the best way to do it. Getting plastic around here can be a little bit difficult. And then I gotta make a piece of wood platform for the windlass because the old one broke and is dirty, as you can see right there. The boat is a mess, it's dusty, and I've got trash and tools everywhere, so don't pay attention to that. So I have some ideas of what I'm gonna do. Here, I'll show you. These are the plates that go over the chain plates there, and they're supposed to just press down and press some sealant in there, which is good. I still want to do that, but the only thing is that I want to raise it up a little bit so that there's not standing water on it usually, because if they're raised up a little bit, rain and everything just kind of sloughs off and it doesn't stay put. But if it's directly on the deck, then it's always there. So at least that's what someone told me. So anyway, I have these. I'm trying to find a piece of wood, and I would like to use teak, only because it doesn't rot really. And then I have mahogany, but it's too thick. Well, I guess it's not too thick. Okay, well, basically I have teak and mahogany. Mahogany is about, I don't know, maybe 3/4 inch thick, somewhere around there. And then I have a piece of teak here that's like 1/2 inch, maybe 3/8 inch thick. So I am trying to decide on what I'm going to do. If I use this teak, which is what I'd like to do, the plates don't really fit, you can see. So I have an option. I can either grind down the plates to fit this and then cut out each one, because if I do it this way, I don't have enough teak to do all 6 of them. Or I can use this mahogany that I drew all over because I was going to make a new plate for the windlass, which I decided not to do anymore. I'm going to actually clean up the old windlass pad and then put it down because it's teak, and fiberglass over it. But so I have this piece, but you can see it's pretty thick, and I don't know how thick I want that to be. I guess I could always cut a piece off. It's not like I'm saving it for anything really particular. Cut a piece off and just try it and see. Yeah, I'll do that. That's a job for tomorrow, but it is an option. So, and then I have the forward bow roller right up there that I've got to figure out how I'm going to raise that up a little bit, because otherwise the bow roller won't fit. So I gotta do something there. But it is currently, it's probably past 4:30 right now. Worked a little bit later today. So I'm gonna clean up and go home tonight because I got cooking to do tonight in preparation for tomorrow.
Good morning. There's a cat on top of a dresser behind me. Don't worry about it. It is a couple days after Thanksgiving, and we had a friend come over, cooked way too much food, and drank way too many margaritas. But today is Saturday. Oh my God, yeah, it's Saturday. Honestly, I think we pretty much, what happened to my shoes? We took yesterday pretty easy. We were very hungover. But Colby just left to go work on the boat, and I am working on sewing together winch covers. I already have one that I started last week. We went, and it was my very first one that I made, test fitted, but I had to take it apart because I sewed it wrong. So I'm gonna sew those two things together, and then I've got to cut out the circle, and then that winch cover will be done, and then I have 2 more to make. So let's get started. zigzag, but it is, so. Okay, well now I just need the circle. Finished one, turned her inside out. Not too bad. You can't really see the zigzag stitch because it's underneath the circle, but yeah. And then I need to cut off the rest of the strings, but now the bungee part needs to be not what I wanted to do. Now, you're supposed to scrunch this up to about 4 inches wide. So like that. Because this is what keeps it on the winch and like high winds and stuff when it's turned inside out. Now I take this, okay, so now I take this and sew over the bungee, and then we'll cut the rest of this bungee off, and then that will be that. So that is the second winch cover done. Now 2 more. So I just sewed the elastic piece together on both sides. So now I put these together like, and I'm lining these 2 seams up, and then I'm going to stitch it all the way around this. I feel like I really messed up on the circle part up here, so there's our third, technically, our third winch cover. Now I just got to put the last one together, and then I'm done with these. Last one done. I think this is probably the best one. Makes sense why it's the last one. I think the top actually looks pretty good. All the seams look pretty good. Nice. 3 winch covers done. The last one's on the boat that we already took it there, so I could make the last 3 to make sure that one fit, but yay.